So this is module 2, inheritance and polymorphism. So I first began with creating my interface class, and pretty much the main purpose of it is to contain method declarations, but not actually implement them. So for this one, I just created the actual interface and named it National Basketball Association. And I also have a void for league actions, which is filled in later. So moving on to the actual parent class, I labeled it NBA team. And it implements the actual National Basketball Association, which is the interface. So it implements the interface. And then for the three attributes, I chose name as a string and integer for wins and losses as well. And then I will move on to the actual constructor, so setting the initial values, and then the getter and setter methods for them as well, so to allow to return the values for the private attributes. And then for the two methods, custom methods I decided on, I chose to calculate the win percentage. So it would be able to calculate the win percentage of the team and also update the record as well. So as the season goes on, you can add the wins and losses that the team has to update their record. And then the override. So to override the league action. So this is what will actually be displayed. So it's giving an actual value for league actions. And then in terms of the toString, this would actually be displayed in the terminal once it's run. Okay, so moving on to the actual subclass portion, the child classes. I chose basketball team, which is to extend the parent class, labeled NBA team right here. And then once again, I redid my constructors, and I used a super function, which is to call the constructor of the actual parent class, which is the NBA team. I then overrid what actual lead actions was. So once this is ran, this will be displayed instead within the terminal. And then in terms for the method one override, I then changed the way that the win percentage can be calculated. So instead, it would calculate the amount of losses, and then you can subtract that number. So if they was to like lose, well, if their win percentage was a 40, so then you can determine the win percentage by pretty much taking that 40 percentage and subtracting it from 100. So if they have a 41 percentage, obviously they'll have a 60 win percentage. And then right here, pretty much is overriding once again, doing the updating the record and showing what their actual values are. But actually, once I change this, okay. And then once again, this is the second child class that I had, team specialization. So since it's like the second subclass, it's going to extend the basketball team, which is another subclass, but it's also going to implement the National Basketball Association as well. So then once again, having my creator constructor right here, and then calling it from the constructor of the parent class right here. Having a giving an actual value to what to display for league actions, and then the override of how to calculate win percentage. So this time I did it to where you just taking the wins times 100 and dividing by total games. So there's no subtraction needed because you have the loss percentage, but you just whatever value that is there is the actual win percentage for the team. And then right here is the method 2 override. So updating the record once again, but this time it's going to actually display a final record for the season and then the wins and the losses. And once again, for the override toString, this is what I chose to do for it. So it's going to have the team, the wins equal, and then the losses for it as well. And then within the main basketball, you're going to initiate the objects of the child class right here. So the basketball team, Boston Celtics, and the team specialization, Golden State Warriors. So that's pretty much just going to be the name for the two different teams. So the names is a representation of the subclass. So as you can see right here, name Boston Celtics, the amount of wins they have and the amount of losses they have. And then this section right here is to demonstrate actual polymorphism. And lastly, this section right here is going to loop through the actual NBA team array. And once it's ran within a terminal, it's going to display like the multiple different parts of it and loop through it. And then once again right here, the total games is given a value and then calculating what percentage, and the system that you want to be printed out right here. And this allows for this portion right here is to allow for the change of wins and losses that the team has. So this is the actual section to where you can update the amount of wins that they have. And then once you do that, you just click run. Okay, so okay, so as you can see, the actual team name is displayed right here, the Boston Celtics, and they have wins. They have 50 wins and 32 losses on the season, which was determined right here. It's also said that the Boston Celtics are in the Eastern Conference, which was within this first subclass. Determining the new win percentage by subtracting 39. So this was determined what the actual win percentage was. But to find the actual win percentage for it, you would subtract the 39 from 100. So the actual win percentage wouldn't be 39, but it would be 61. Then you have the final record for the season as well. And then the new record right here, which would be 60 and 36. So they first took the amount of wins right here, the 50 and the 32, and then they went here into the actual main class, and then they added the wins right here. So that's why it went from 50 to 60, and then from 32 to 36. And I don't know why. Yeah, and then it displayed the new version of it as well. So since they have the new record now, instead of just displaying what it previously was, it actually updated right here. And same thing for this section right here. So now moving from the Boston Celtics, it's going to actually go to the Golden State Warriors. So they have 73 wins and 9 losses, which is where it's displayed right there. And the new win percentage for Golden State will be determined as 89, which was done from not this calculation, but this calculation right here, which is why it has this new win percentage right here, and the same for right here. So this one for the Golden State Warriors is using the team specialization subclass, but the Boston Celtics utilize the basketball team. And then the final record for the season, and then the new record, which is 83 and 10. So once again, it added the 10 wins and the 4 losses right here and displayed for the new record. And then it moved on to then show the final record for the season as well as the updated values for Golden State. So as you can see, they now display how many wins they have and the amount of losses that they have. And this is the end of my project.